Hi friends, welcome to SSG Electrical. In this video, I am going to discuss about DFCCL previous questions, and regarding missions, what are the previous questions given, I am going to discuss here. And these questions will be useful for SSJE and all JE or AE level exams. First question, a transformer has 400 watts iron loss at full load. A transformer has 400 watts iron loss at full load. The iron loss at half full load will be, okay. Transformer contains two kind of losses, that is iron losses and copper losses mainly, okay. Iron losses and copper losses. So here iron losses are fixed losses. Iron losses are fixed losses. It won't depends on the load, okay. So copper losses depends on the load, okay. So iron losses is asking. Iron losses at full load given 400 watts, at half load is asking. So iron losses won't change, okay. Iron losses won't change. Therefore, the answer will be 400 watts, okay. Iron loss won't change. Only copper losses only depends on the load. Copper losses only depends on the load. For the same question, if you have given for copper losses, what happens? X square into copper loss, that is 1 by 2 whole square into copper losses, that is 1 by 4 into 400, that is 100 watts will be the copper losses. If the same question given for copper losses, answer will be 100 watts. Here the iron losses asking. Iron losses won't depends on the load. So answer is 400 watts. In detail you can see here what are the iron losses. Iron losses is nothing but a fixed losses, okay. Iron losses is nothing but a fixed losses. It depends on the magnetic property of the material, okay. So it depends on the magnetic property of the material and always present, related to the transformer construction. Iron losses related to the transformer construction. Iron losses are two types, that is eddy current losses and hysteresis losses. Eddy current losses and hysteresis losses reduced by laminations, very important. Eddy current losses in transformer can be reduced by laminations, important. It produces the heat, okay. Eddy current losses produces the heat. Hysteresis losses reduced by using special steel in laminations. Hysteresis losses can be reduced by using special steel in laminations, okay. Hope you understand. These are the fixed losses. These are the fixed losses. Iron losses are, we can say, core losses also, okay. So this is a additional information regarding this question. Therefore, iron losses won't depends on load, copper losses only depends on load, okay. So answer is 400 watts. Next question. A two-pole alternator running at 1500 rpm. A two-pole alternator running at 1500 rpm. Its angular velocity. Is asking. So two-pole alternator running at 1500 rpm. That is how much he is giving. Ns equal to 1500 rpm given. Okay. So we know that Ns equals to 120 F by P. Ns equals to 120 F by P. So before knowing this, what we have to calculate? Angular velocity we have to calculate. Angular velocity is nothing but what? W equals to 2 pi f. W equals to 2 pi f. We have to calculate the frequency. Here frequency not given. We have to calculate the frequency so that we can calculate the angular velocity. So frequency calculated by using this formula. Okay. Ns is 1500 is equals to 120 into frequency by poles. How many given? 2 given. Okay. So just simplify this. F equals to 1500 into 2, that is 3000 by 120. Simplify this. So 12 2s are 24, 12 5s are 60. Okay. So frequency equal to 25 Hz you are getting. 25 Hz. Just substitute here. 2 pi into 25 Hz. How much you will get? That is 50 pi. That is 55. You know that 50 into pi is nothing but a 3.14. Simplify this, you will get approximately 157 radian per second. This is the correct answer. Again I am repeating here. A two-pole alternator running at 1500 rpm, its angular velocity. Angular velocity formula equals to W equals to 2 pi f. W equals to 2 pi f. Here frequency is unknown. Frequency can be calculated using Ns equals to 120 F by P. So speed given 1500 rpm, 120 into frequency by 2 poles given. So simplify this, you will get 25 Hz. At 25 Hz, this is a frequency, okay. So angular velocity, how we can calculate? Just substitute here, you will get the angular velocity. Okay, so like this we can calculate. Next question, in split phase induction motor, the two stator windings, in split phase induction motor, the two stator windings, see here, mutually displaced by 90 degrees electrical. In a split phase induction motor, the two stator windings, see here how it appears to be. This is a split phase induction motor. See here, rotor will be placed. Here switch will be placed. Okay, a switch will be placed. So this is the auxiliary winding, this is the auxiliary winding, and this is the main winding. Both will be displaced by 90 degrees. Okay, single phase supply, this is. Single phase supply, and both the main winding and auxiliary winding will be displaced by 90 degrees. So this is the correct answer. In split phase induction motor, the two stator windings mutually displaced by 90 degrees electrical. Okay, next one, core laminations in transformer decreases. Core lamination in transformer decreases eddy current losses. You can see here, this is the laminated steel. Okay, this laminations reduces the eddy current losses we have discussed previously, that is this one. Eddy current losses can be reduced by laminations. Eddy current losses can be reduced by laminations. Regarding hysteresis losses, reduced by using special steels in laminations. Don't confuse with this. Hysteresis losses can be reduced by special steels in laminations, and eddy current losses can be reduced by just laminations. Okay, this is the individual lamination and laminated steel core. Okay, all these are combined. Laminated steel core, this is. A three-phase induction motor running at 4% slip, if the input to the rotor is 1000 watts, then mechanical power developed is, we know that 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. Okay, this is regarding input, this is regarding copper losses, this is regarding mechanical power developed. Here we have to calculate the mechanical power developed. Mechanical power developed formula is M equals to mechanical 1 minus S into input. Okay, 1 minus S into input. 1 minus S means nothing but what? 1 minus 0.04. S is nothing but slip, no, into input power is 1000 watts given. So 1 minus 0.04 is nothing but a 0.96. 0.96 into 1000, that is 960 watts. So this is the correct answer. So this one we have to remember. 1 is to S is to 1 minus S. First one is regarding input, this is regarding input power, and this is regarding copper losses, and this is regarding mechanical power developed. Okay, for the same question, if they ask the copper losses, what you have to do? S into input, that is, this is the copper losses portion, this is the input power. For the same question, if they ask you copper losses, S into input, that is, you can say. So in this question, what we have done, that is, for mechanical power out, what we have done, that is Pm by P input. Pm by P input equals to 1 minus S by 1 we have done. Okay, if we want, for the same question, if we want the copper losses, what you have to do, that is copper losses, that is PCU by input power Pin equals to S by 1. S by 1, just multiply with input power with slip, you will get the copper loss. Hope you understand. You have to remember this formula. Okay, next one, the armature of DC machine placed on the rotor. The armature of DC machine placed on the, this is the armature. Okay, this is the armature of DC machine placed on rotor to reduce. It's not for reducing, it is supporting commutation. Okay, C is the correct answer. For supporting the commutation, we use the armature of DC machine. Okay, armature of DC machine placed on rotor for supporting commutation. Commutation is nothing but a it converts induced AC to DC. In case of DC generator, what happens? It converts induced AC to DC. It converts AC to DC. Okay, in DC generator. And in case of motor, what happens? In case of DC motor, it reverses the DC current. It reverses the DC current before being applied to coils. Okay, it reverses the DC current before being applied to coils in case of DC motor. Okay, important regarding DC generator, AC to DC. A washing machine generally employs a dash motor. Okay, a washing machine generally employs a resistance split phase motor. A washing machine generally employs a resistance split phase motor, and other applications of this, for small grinders also we use, for small grinders, okay, for small grinders we use the resistance split phase, and for small fans also, okay, for small fans also we use the resistance split phase induction motor. Other applications of this, okay. An open circuit test on transformer gives an open circuit test, that is OC test, gives a transformer iron losses, okay. Open circuit test on transformer gives iron losses. For short circuit test gives copper losses, okay. For the same question, if they ask the short circuit test, the answer will be copper losses. In a 6-pole DC machine, 90 mechanical degree correspond to how many electrical degree? Okay, electrical degree is asking. The formula is theta E equals to P by 2 into theta mechanical. Okay, P is nothing but a number of poles, that is 6 by 2 into theta mechanical. How much given? 90 given. Just simplify this. 2 3s are 3 90s, that is 270. So 270 electrical degree. Hope you understood. In a 6-pole DC machine, 90 mechanical degree correspond to how many electrical degree? 270 electrical. The theta E equals to P by 2 into theta mechanical. Dash motor runs at highest speed when load is removed. Dash motor runs at highest speed when load is removed. The answer is series motor. Series motor runs at highest speed when load is removed. The other applications of DC series motor you can see here. This is regarding DC series motor. This is regarding DC series motor. This is regarding DC shunt and DC cumulative and differential. Okay. DC series motor, other applications you can see here. The characteristics of DC series motor is high starting torque, very important. DC series motor is high starting torque. No load condition is dangerous. That is why it goes to very high speed. Okay, dangerous variable high speed. And other applications of DC series motor is cranes. In cranes we use the DC series motor. Hoists and elevators, trolleys, conveyors, electric locomotives. Very important. In many competitive exams they will ask you the applications of DC series motor. That is cranes, hoists and elevators, trolleys, conveyors, electric locomotives. Okay, and this one is DC cumulative compound motor. Regarding DC cumulative compound motor, high starting torque, no load condition is allowed. High starting torque, no load condition is allowed. And the application of DC cumulative compound motor is rolling mills, punches, shears, heavy planers and elevators. Okay, so most important is DC series. And speed increases as load increases. Okay, differential compound motor, this is regarding differential compound motor, not suitable for any practical applications. So these three are important. Regarding DC shunt motor, you see speed is fairly constant and medium starting torque. The applications are lathe machines, very important. Okay, lathe machines, very important, and milling also. Okay, regarding DC shunt motor, applications are blowers and fans, centrifugal and reciprocating pumps, lathe machines, machine tools, milling machines and drilling machines. Okay, so these are the applications of DC shunt, DC series and DC compound. Okay, so last question, the motor runs at highest speed when load is removed is DC series. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. Please like this video and share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe this channel for more videos. Thank you.